Hi, it's Emma here from Catchy English. Welcome back, English learners. I want to start today with a simple question. Have you ever been in the middle of a conversation and suddenly your brain has something to say, but your mouth just doesn't deliver? You know the words, you understand the idea, but when it's time to speak, nothing comes out. I think all of us have experienced that moment. It's frustrating, right? It feels like your brain is running fast, but your mouth is still tying its shoes. That's why today we're focusing on speed. Not speed that makes you sound rushed or messy, but the kind of speed that helps you sound sharp, clear, and confident in real time. Because fluency is not just about knowing the words. It's about finding them quickly and saying them naturally while you're speaking. The best part is this learning to speak faster doesn't mean pushing yourself or forcing words out. It's about training your brain and your mouth to work together smoothly. That way you can express your ideas clearly and quickly without feeling stuck or frozen. In this lesson, I'll show you exactly how to do that. Together, we'll train your speech muscles, boost your mental clarity, and explore some fun techniques that really work whether you are a beginner or an intermediate learner. And if you'd like some extra support, I've prepared a free PDF guide to go with this lesson. Inside, you'll find comprehension questions, grammar practice, and all the key points we're talking about today. You can use it as a study tool while you listen. Think of it like your personal English trainer. You'll find the link in the description below this video. So, what exactly are we going to cover today first? I'll show you some methods to help your mouth speak faster. These are practical fun exercises that will train your lips, tongue, and voice to keep up with your thoughts. Then once your mouth is ready, we'll move on to your brain. I'll share powerful techniques to help you think faster so you can respond naturally in any situation. Let's begin with your mouth because that's where the words come out. Training your mouth with tongue twisters. Think of your mouth like a muscle. If you want to run faster, you train your legs. If you want to speak faster, you train your lips, your tongue, and your vocal muscles. And one of the best workouts for that is something you already know, tongue twisters. Yes, those funny, silly sentences you probably practiced in school. They might have made you laugh, but they are actually a powerful tool for fluency. Tongue twisters train your mouth to move quickly and clearly. Here's how you can practice. Pick one tongue twister. For example, she sells seashells by the seashore. First say it slowly 5 times. Then repeat it a little faster. Then faster again. Keep building speed while staying clear. Do this with a few different tongue twisters, and you'll notice your mouth moving more smoothly. It's like teaching your mouth a rhythm, just like dancing. The more you practice, the less you trip over words when you speak in real life. Tongue twisters are also a great warm-up before important moments like interviews, meetings, or presentations. Personally, I used to practice a few before speaking events, and it really helped me feel confident. Here's an extra tip: choose tongue twisters with sounds that are difficult for you. For many learners, the SH or the R sounds are tricky. Practicing these sounds at speed improves both your pronunciation and your fluency. So next time you're about to speak in English, warm up with one tongue twister. It's playful, effective, and far more helpful than it looks. Measuring your speaking speed. Now that your mouth is warming up, the next step is to know how fast you are actually speaking. Because if you don't measure it, how will you know if you're improving? Most people guess they're slow or feel awkward when they try to speak faster. But here's a fun way to measure your real speaking pace, and even turn it into a small game. Take a short story of about 300 words. Set a 1-minute timer. Then read the story out loud until the timer ends. When the minute is up, count how many words you read. That number is your speaking speed. For example, if you read 110 words in 1 minute, that's your current pace. Next time, aim for 120. You're not competing with anyone else, only yourself. This turns practice into a personal challenge. It's motivating because you can see your progress, just like watching your score go up in a game. And here's something important: don't worry if your pronunciation is not perfect in the beginning. Focus first on flow and clarity. Perfection can come later. Think of this exercise as building momentum, like pushing a ball that starts rolling faster and faster. And remember, choose stories or topics you actually enjoy. If the content excites you, your brain stays active and your speed improves naturally. Breath control, the secret fuel. Now let's talk about something many learners overlook: breath control. Believe it or not, one of the biggest reasons people lose clarity or slow down is because they run out of air too quickly. Think about it when you speak. Your breath is your fuel. If you use it all too fast, your words come out rushed and messy. By the end of the sentence, your voice sounds weak, like a balloon losing air. This used to happen to me too. I would start a sentence strong, but by the end, I was almost gasping. The solution is simple: train your breathing just like singers or public speakers do. Here's one exercise you can try. Take a deep breath. Then make an S sound like a snake. Stretch it as long as possible. This helps you control how much air you release. Another exercise is to count aloud on one breath. For example, count 1, 2, 3, and so on. But here's the trick: keep your voice strong and clear for every number. Don't let your sound fade out at the end. When you master your breath, your voice becomes stronger, your words become clearer, and your speaking speed feels natural. Breath control gives your speech rhythm, power, and confidence, even when you feel nervous. So if you've ever felt out of breath after 1 or 2 sentences, this is your sign. Train your breathing, and your English will instantly sound smoother. Now that you've practiced with tongue twisters and felt how they make your tongue, lips, and voice work harder, let's move into another layer of training speed and breath control. These 2 things are often forgotten, but they are very important if you want to sound natural and fluent in English. Think about it: when native speakers talk, they don't always speak slowly or carefully. Sometimes they speak very quickly. They connect words together. Their sentences come out fast, almost like a wave. If you only practice English slowly, you will feel shocked when someone speaks quickly to you. That's why we need to prepare. One great exercise is called the speed sprint. A sprint means running fast for a short time. And in English practice, it means speaking as quickly as you can for a short time. Here's how it works. Take a short sentence, for example, I'm going to the store to buy some bread. First, say it slowly and clearly. Then say it again, but faster. And then try again even faster, almost too fast. At the beginning, your words may sound messy. You may feel like your tongue cannot keep up. That's completely normal. The goal is not to be perfect. The goal is to push your mouth and your brain to work faster than usual. Just like running when you train fast, your normal speed becomes easier later. I often tell my students, imagine you are practicing like an athlete. A runner doesn't only jog slowly, they also do fast sprints. These sprints make their body stronger. It's the same with English. Now, let's talk about breath control. Many learners don't realize that their breath is part of their speaking power. Have you ever noticed that when you are nervous, your breath becomes shallow? You run out of air too quickly, and your voice sounds weak. Or maybe you stop in the middle of a sentence because you can't breathe properly. Here's a simple trick before you start speaking. Take a deep breath from your belly, not just from your chest. Fill your lungs and then release your words slowly with that air. This gives your voice more strength and helps you finish your sentence without stopping. Try this with a longer sentence. Even though it was raining heavily, I decided to go outside and meet my friend for dinner. Without proper breathing, you may stop halfway. But if you take a deep belly breath before starting, you'll notice that you can say the whole sentence smoothly. I recommend practicing this in 2 steps. Take a deep breath, then read a long sentence slowly using all your air. Take another deep breath, then try the same sentence faster, but still controlled. With practice, you'll discover your natural rhythm. And when you talk to others, you'll sound more confident and relaxed, not rushed or out of breath. Now, let's move to mental sprints. This is different from tongue twisters or speed drills. A mental sprint is about training your brain to respond quickly in English. Sometimes when you talk, you know the word in your head, but your brain takes too long to find it. That pause can break the flow of conversation. One way to train is with quick answer practice. For example, I'll ask myself small, simple questions and force myself to answer immediately without thinking too long. Questions like, what did you eat for breakfast? What's your favorite color? Where do you want to travel next? The important part is speed, not perfection. Even if my answer is simple, like I ate rice or blue is my favorite color, that's okay. The goal is to train my brain to grab English words quickly and use them. Another mental sprint exercise is storytelling. You choose a random topic, maybe a cat or a bus ride, and then you try to tell a very short story in 30 seconds. Don't worry about mistakes. Don't worry if it sounds strange. Just push yourself to keep speaking without stopping. This exercise makes you comfortable with thinking in English under pressure. And later, when you're in a real conversation, your brain will be faster at finding the right words. So to summarize this section, tongue twisters make your mouth flexible speed sprints. Train your speaking speed breath control gives your voice power. And mental sprints make your brain faster. Together, they create a strong foundation for confident English speaking. But training is not only physical or mental. There's another part, your mindset. If your mindset is weak, you may practice hard, but still feel afraid to speak. In the next part, let's talk about how to build a strong, confident mindset that supports all your practice. Up to now, we've worked on physical skills like tongue twisters speed and breath control, and also on mental speed with quick responses. But there is something even more powerful that holds many learners back their mindset. Have you ever felt nervous before speaking English? Maybe you were scared of making mistakes, or you worried that people would laugh at your accent. This feeling is very common. In fact, I would say almost every English learner experiences it at some point. And here's the truth. Your mindset can be your biggest obstacle, even more than vocabulary or grammar. Let me explain why. Imagine you have learned thousands of English words. You know grammar rules very well. You have practiced pronunciation. But when it's time to speak, your mind freezes. You become silent, or your sentences come out broken and unsure. Why does this happen? It's not because of knowledge, it's because of fear. So, how do we change this? We need to train our mindset the same way we train our tongue or our breath. One of the best ways is to change your relationship with mistakes. Many learners think mistakes are proof of failure, but actually mistakes are proof of learning. If you are making mistakes, it means you are trying. It means you are pushing yourself into new territory. Think about children when they learn their first language. They make mistakes every day. They say words incorrectly, they mix up grammar, they forget things. But nobody tells them to stop speaking. They keep going, and eventually they become fluent. You must allow yourself the same freedom. Instead of thinking I must speak perfectly, think every mistake is helping me grow. Here's a small exercise. The next time you make a mistake in English, smile and say to yourself, "Great, that's one step forward." This simple habit changes your attitude. You stop being afraid of mistakes and start using them as tools. Another important part of mindset is self-image. If you see yourself as bad at English, your brain will believe it, and you will act that way. But if you see yourself as a person who is becoming fluent, who is improving every day, your brain will also believe that and your actions will match. Try this. Every morning tell yourself, I am becoming more confident in English every day. It might feel strange at first, but these words plant seeds in your mind. Over time, you will notice that you feel braver when you speak. Now let's talk about fear of judgment. This is when you worry too much about what others think. Maybe you think people will laugh at your accent or get bored with your slow speech. But here's the truth. Most people are not judging you. In fact, many people admire you for speaking in a second language. Think about it. If someone speaks to you in your language, even with mistakes, don't you feel respect for their effort? The same is true in English. People are usually kinder than you imagine. One technique to fight this fear is called the spotlight effect. We often believe everyone is watching and judging us like we're under a bright spotlight. But in reality, most people are busy with their own thoughts and don't notice our small mistakes. If you remind yourself of this, you can relax and speak more freely. Another way to strengthen your mindset is through small victories. Don't wait until you are perfect to feel proud. Celebrate every little step. Did you have a 2-minute conversation in English today? That's a victory. Did you order food in English without switching to your native language? That's a victory. Did you practice shadowing for 10 minutes? That's another one. Write these victories down if you like. Over time, you'll build a record of progress that gives you motivation. Finally, remember, this confidence is not something you wait for. It is something you practice. Just like you practice tongue twisters or speed drills, you can practice being confident. Start by speaking a little louder than usual when you practice alone. Sit up straight, take a deep breath, and speak with energy. Even if nobody is listening, your body and voice are learning confidence. So, mindset training means changing your view of mistakes, building a positive self-image, ignoring the false spotlight, celebrating small victories, and practicing confidence daily. With these habits, your fear will slowly disappear, and your natural voice will come forward. Now that we've built physical skills, mental speed, and mindset strength, we are ready for the next step, expanding vocabulary and using it naturally in real life. This will make your speaking not only confident, but also rich and expressive. So far, we've built the foundation of confident English physical practice with your mouth and breath, mental sprints for speed, and a strong mindset to overcome fear. But confidence also grows from another source, your vocabulary. Think about it. When you don't know enough words, you often feel stuck. You want to say something, but the exact word doesn't come to your mind. You pause, you hesitate, and the conversation slows down. But when you know the right words and can use them naturally, you feel more free, more in control. That's why vocabulary training is so important. Now, learning vocabulary is not only about memorizing long lists. That method may help you for a test, but it doesn't help much in real conversation. The secret is to learn words in a way that connects them to real life, to emotions, and to action. Here's a simple system I recommend. I call it the 3 steps of active vocabulary learning. Step 1, notice. When you hear or read a new word, don't just skip it. Pause for a moment. Ask yourself, what does this word mean? How is it used in this sentence? For example, maybe you hear the word overcome. You notice that in a sentence like, she overcame her fear of swimming. Step 2, connect. Now connect the word to your own life. Ask yourself, how can I use this word to talk about myself? For example, I want to overcome my fear of speaking English. Suddenly, the word is no longer just in a book. It's connected to your story. Step 3, use. This is the most important step. Use the word immediately. Write it in a sentence, say it aloud. Or use it in a conversation with a friend. The faster you use it, the deeper it stays in your memory. Let's practice with a few useful words together. Take the word challenge. It means something difficult that tests your ability. Now let's connect it. Learning English is a challenge for me, but I enjoy it. Or I want to challenge myself to speak English every day. Can you feel how this word suddenly belongs to you? Another word, improve. Very simple but powerful. Connect it to your life. I want to improve my pronunciation. I am improving my listening by watching English videos. Another one, confidence. A word we've talked about many times. You can say, I am building my confidence step by step. Or, confidence grows when I practice daily. You see, vocabulary becomes alive when it enters your world. Now, here's another powerful technique: word families. When you learn one word, look at its related forms. For example, with improve, you also have improvement and improving. With challenge, you have challenging. With confident, you have confidence. Learning word families gives you more flexibility when you speak. Another great exercise is called topic clusters. Choose a topic like travel and collect words related to it: ticket luggage, airport flight delay, adventure explore. Then make sentences or a short story using those words. For example, last summer my flight was delayed, but the adventure was still exciting. I explored a new city and lost my luggage, but it became part of the story. This method helps you prepare for real conversations. If you know you will talk about work, learn words about meetings, deadlines, and teamwork. If you want to talk about hobbies, learn words about sports, music, or cooking. That way your vocabulary matches your real needs. But here's the key: don't just learn words, use them in life. Vocabulary becomes yours only when you use it. For example, if you learn the phrase look forward to, don't just write it in your notebook. Use it: I look forward to my English class tomorrow. Or when chatting with a friend, you can say, I look forward to seeing you. Each time you use it, the phrase becomes part of your natural English. Here's a fun challenge you can try this week. Choose 5 new words or phrases. Write them on sticky notes and put them where you will see them every day on your desk, your mirror, or your phone. Each time you see the note, say a sentence aloud with that word. By the end of the week, those 5 words will feel natural. One more tip: practice vocabulary with emotions. When you say a word with feeling, your brain remembers it more deeply. For example, say the word excited while smiling and feeling real excitement. Say the word angry while making an angry face. This connection between emotion and word helps your memory. So, vocabulary expansion is not boring memorization. It's about noticing, connecting, using learning families, clustering by topic, and practicing with emotion. When you do this, your vocabulary grows not only in number, but also in power. Now, imagine you have strong tongue and breath control, quick thinking. From mental sprints, a fearless mindset, and a growing vocabulary that you can use anytime. What's left? The final step is to bring everything together to practice fluency in real connected speaking, so your English feels smooth and natural. We've reached the final step of this journey, and now it's time to put everything together. We've talked about training your mouth with tongue twisters, controlling your breath, doing mental sprints to think faster, building a confident mindset, and expanding your vocabulary in practical ways. But fluency isn't just about practicing each skill separately. True fluency comes when you bring all of these parts together and use them in real life. So, how do you do that? The answer is simple fluency practice in action. Let's start with something called shadowing practice. You may have heard of it before, but let me explain clearly. Shadowing means listening to English audio and speaking at the same time, almost like an echo. For example, you play a short podcast or a video, and as the speaker talks, you repeat their words with only a tiny delay. You don't stop to translate. You don't pause to check grammar. You just follow along like a shadow. Why is this powerful? Because it forces your brain, your mouth, and your ears to work together in real time. It trains your speaking muscles, your listening, and your speed all at once. At first, it feels challenging, even impossible. But after a few sessions, you notice that your tongue starts moving faster. Your brain starts reacting quicker, and you stop hesitating. Here's how you can practice. Choose a short clip, maybe just 1 or 2 minutes long. Listen once, then play it again, and shadow along. Don't worry about being perfect. Focus on rhythm, speed, and energy. If you practice shadowing for even 5 minutes a day, you will see huge improvements in your fluency. Now, shadowing is powerful, but it's not the only way. Another great method is role-play practice. This means choosing a real-life situation and practicing the conversation out loud. For example, imagine you're at a cafe ordering coffee. Speak the words, "Hi, I'd like a coffee, please. Can I also have a piece of cake?" Then imagine how the barista might reply and answer them back. You can do this with travel situations, job interviews, or even friendly chats. Role play is important because it prepares you for the moments that really matter. When you practice these situations ahead of time, your brain will already know what to say when you face them in real life. Another way to bring it all together is through storytelling. This is one of my favorite exercises, and it's perfect for fluency training. Take any small event from your day and turn it into a story. For example, this morning I woke up late. I rushed to the bus stop, but the bus was gone. I felt stressed, but then I laughed because it was my own fault. Storytelling helps you practice past tense connect sentences and keep your speaking flowing without long pauses. And here's something really powerful: record yourself. I know it feels strange at first, but when you record and listen back, you can hear your progress. You'll notice where you speak smoothly and where you hesitate. Over time, these recordings become proof of how far you've come. Now, let's talk about consistency. Because no matter how many techniques you learn, the most important thing is to keep practicing regularly. Fluency doesn't grow from one long study session. It grows from small daily steps. Even 10 minutes a day can change everything if you do it consistently. Think of it like exercise. If you go to the gym once a month for 5 hours, you won't see results. But if you go every day for 20 minutes, your body changes. English fluency works the same way. Daily practice builds momentum, and momentum builds confidence. Finally, let's not forget about mindset. When you practice, don't aim for perfection. Aim for progress. Every mistake is not a failure, it's proof that you're learning. Remember, fluency is not about speaking without mistakes. It's about speaking without fear. So here's a challenge for you. Starting tomorrow, choose one of these activities: shadowing, role play, or storytelling, and practice for 10 minutes. Combine it with the breathing exercises, the mental sprints, and the vocabulary techniques we talked about. Do this every day for 1 week. At the end of the week, record yourself speaking on any topic for 1 minute. Compare it to where you started. You'll be surprised at how much smoother, faster, and more confident you sound. And that, my friends, is the secret to fluency. Not one single magic trick, but a combination of skills, practiced consistently with courage and a positive mindset. So remember this: your mouth is strong, your brain is fast, your vocabulary is growing, and your confidence is building every single day you practice. Fluency isn't far away. It's already on its way to you step by step. I'm Emma, and I'm so proud to be your guide here on Catchy English. Keep practicing, keep believing in yourself, and most importantly, keep showing up. Because every time you show up, you move one step closer to the fluent, confident English speaker you want to be.